Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Another game from the Asian server. My name is Anaris, and we are here today to watch LiquidRet, spawning as the red Terran in the 6 o'clock position, face off against his opponent, none other than oGs, the yellow Zerg, spawning in the 9 o'clock position. These two are very close to each other, so we can expect this Overlord to find his opponent very soon. Of course, it'll depend on how close he actually sends that Overlord to find the command center as to whether or not the Terran actually sees that and may decide to change up his play. That's something that you kind of see on this map. Obviously, this is probably going to be the last position that the Terran player is going to scout, since he's going to go here first, then here, and then here. That's just the quickest way to do it. But we'll just, like I said, we'll just have to see how close this Overlord gets and whether or not Rhett is able to see it. Speaking of Rhett, I did look up his rank on SC2 ranks. I think SC2 ranks is having a little bit of a hard time adjusting either that or a Blizzard. Oh, nice. See right there. It turned it away. Barely saw the command center. Good to go. Anyways, the Masters League, I think, is kind of thrown off the ranks a little bit. So I'm going to hold off on any information about these players for now, just because of patch 1.2 coming out. This is not a 1.2 replay. However, you know, look at this right here. LiquidRet does have his barracks down here at the base of his main base area. I like this because what he's probably thinking of doing now that he has determined that his opponent is Zerg, is he's going to put some early pressure. As you can see, the SCV heading out right now. He knows exactly what's going on. He's banking on his opponent having this hatchery out here, this fast expansion, which he does have before even a spawning pool. So he's probably going to throw down a bunker, put some pressure on this thing as fast as possible, and having the barracks down here at the base of the cliff, out near the middle of the map, will definitely shorten the run distance for the Marines, which will be crucial in establishing a foothold at the natural expansion. We'll have to see what happens here, as the SCV currently is scouting around, seeing that a spawning pool has just gone down. Also getting an orbital command gas is finally done as well. Fairly standard opener other than the placement here. There's the bunker going down. Now, this is a little bit farther out than I would have initially thought he'd want to do, but we'll just have to see how this plays out here. There are a couple drones coming off the mineral line. Actually, a lot of them. 7 drones total, trying to push away these two SCVs who are chased away. Obviously, they cannot continue building with that many Anger drones here, but here's a Marine. Might be able to take some of the damage away. Oh, man, look at that. Canceled the bunker there at the last second. Another one has gone down, though. There is a Marine waiting for this to go up, so these drones are actually... Let's actually look at the income here while we're waiting. You can see how this is really hurting oGs's income. Right now, LiquidRet's sitting about 500, 600, spiking there a little bit. His opponent, about 300. He is doing a good job keeping this Marine alive. Did take 2 hits there, but able to come back in the end. And here's the second Marine going to be able to do some more damage as these drones... Oh, man, I'm really surprised he hasn't actually lost one of these drones yet. That one was on the brink of death. There's a spine crawler going down here. This will definitely help out. The spine crawlers can outrange the Marines. And obviously, with this bunker so far out, really, it's not going to be able to do a ton of damage. There's some Zerglings here. Going to try to wrap this up, but I really don't see a lot of options for Rhett at this point. He has established this position, but once the spine crawler takes hold, it's able to come out here, you know, anywhere it wants to, and just range this bunker down, and that's going to be that. Really not accomplishing too much. I don't think he lost a whole lot here. Let's actually look at the units lost tab real quick and just see. Right now, LiquidRet has lost 200 supply worth of units. That does include the bunker there. But only two units, though. But, you know, oGs, he's lost 6 so far. There's the spine crawler trying to push its way up. I don't think it's going to be able to get it just yet. It might take a little bit more reinforcements. We'll have to see, though, as it is currently sitting at 2/3 of its current health. Let's take a quick look over here at Red Space. We can see a factory going down, as well as an armory. This could be interesting. We'll have to see what happens in just a minute here as the game continues to unfold. Queen trying to bait away the Marines just a little bit, do some additional damage. Zerglings coming in here trying to do that as well. However, the bunker is being recycled. Rhett realizes there's not a lot he can do at this point with that bunker. The expansion is established. He has a foothold down here, and that is it. All right, so now we have a starport. Oh my god. All right. All signs right now are leading to a Thor ship. I don't want to call it too early, but that is what I'm thinking we're going to have here. We also have a command center going down as well, so we can probably expect an attack to take place to try to put some pressure on this natural expansion and really just shift the focus of the battle right here. Thor, or LiquidRet, wants to keep the battle right here, this expansion, so that way his own expansion won't come under too much pressure here. oGs does have this Overlord hanging out in the base. Maybe we'll even get lucky and see some kind of Nidus play. Not really too much in the way of defenses. Don't really have any bunkers or anything over here right now. That is something that I personally like to do on this map, is I like to have 1 or 2 buildings over here when I'm against a Zerg that is, you know, pretty much, especially at this position. Because they can just go right over, Nidus, do whatever the hell they want, and that's that. Starport is producing a medevac here. We do have a Thor on the way. Oh my god, I think it's true. We're going to have a Thor ship, ladies and gentlemen. Command center just about complete. This Overlord is gone. Yeah, I played that up here. You know, trying to get a little bit of excitement during the downtime. Overlord! Yeah, you like that. You know you did. Speed is on the way for the Zerglings as well as a Lair. You can see he's kind of rounded out his tier 1 units. Also got a Roach Warren. Wants to be able to throw down some early offensive units in case he needs to. Roaches are very, very much good for that. You know, really, a Roach Warren is a pretty good investment early game. It's 150 minerals, the building itself doesn't cost any gas, and it's a great oh shit button. I mean, if you're planning on going a really heavy economy build, going into tier 2, whatnot, you know, it's a good thing to have there just in case. Now, I like what LiquidRet is doing here. He's got his Thor up the top, that's obvious. But what he also did is he brought along a couple Marines and a couple SCVs, and he's also got this medevac here to heal them up. So he can do some on-the-spot repairs with this Thor and use the Marines to keep away any Overlords. If he decided to, he could maybe even throw up a turret or two, although that wouldn't really be the best. I think any Overlords that try to drop Roaches up here, by the time the Overlords got into place, the turrets couldn't really kill them, so it wouldn't really be that big of a point. But the SCVs are still hanging out back here, as there are a good number of Roaches. That's what I was talking about, man. Great units for when you really need them in a pinch. Just some heavy damage right there. Thor using the range to his advantage. I think he has a 7 range. Yes, 7 range and 30 damage, 2 attacks. Very powerful unit there indeed. But look at this. oGs deciding to counter with some Zerglings in the natural expansion, forcing the lift off of the command center and delaying the production of the SCVs there. One Thor is thankfully here at the top of the ramp with some good last-second supply depot lifting there by LiquidRet. Expansion pretty much can't do anything at this point, but, you know, we'll just have to see how this plays out, as we do have the Ventral Sax upgrade on the way for the Overlords. Gonna try to get some Roaches up there very soon. Definitely going to have to do exactly that. There's a Viking here just picking off the Overlords, not doing too much. You can see he's got a nice little patrol pattern there, as there is continued harassment with the Thor. I really like how he's using the dropship here. You know, some players will just send the Thor back and, you know, take it for repairs, but really the medevac is just an instant way to get it to cut all of the damage. No running back, not going to have any of those lingering shots fired. Just pick up, drop down, repair, and go back to it. The Thor has destroyed the extractor on here, but other than that, he hasn't done too terribly much damage. You can see he does have this hatchery down to 350, but now that there is a spine crawler established here, I'm not sure it's going to be able to take it all the way down. And I'm pretty sure LiquidRet knows this. Now, there are some more Zerglings coming over here to the natural expansion. Will they be able to do anything? Absolutely not. Those Thors do have quite a few things to say about that. As we see, Red is switching over to a more Marauder-focused build. Very good counter against the Roaches, who right now are at the top of the natural expansion, still trying to push away this Thor, man. I'll tell you what, LiquidRet is really, really intent on doing as much damage as possible with this thing. 6 kills right now on this one Thor, so pretty good, but, you know, he's really having to, he's really just kind of having to push back, take a couple shots, stay around, you know, stay back, as oGs is doing some pretty good micro there with the Roaches as well, trying to bait the Thor down there. There's the extractor. Looks like he might actually be able to kill it again there. So, oh man, here comes the drop. Couple Zerglings and some Roaches as well. Marines are at the very back, so they will not be able to get any shots at all. And there's the SCV hanging out in the middle. He won't be able to repair it very easily. Oh, but the medevac is here with the heal save. Not really, just kidding. That medevac has nothing to heal except one little lonely SCV. But look at this, oGs on the counterattack with a bunch of Roaches, and thought he had some Zerglings in there, but apparently I am not able to see. Thor is continuing to do damage, but here comes the reinforcements. Oh man, do you see how many Zerglings just went down in that Overlord? Oh, what a loss there. But LiquidRet is aware of the fact that this counterattack is taking place in his main base. Obviously well equipped to deal with it, even as a siege tank now. Doesn't have siege mode just yet. I do want to point out, however, oGs is getting a Spire and also a second hatchery in the main, so he'll probably be looking to produce some low-tier units here in the immediate future to put some pressure on his opponent. He's definitely going to have to do something here, as the Terran player has now pretty much explored the entire tech tree, save for the mighty battlecruiser, which, I mean, you know, really, who's going to get those this early in the game? Especially in this situation. Rhett has dropped down his Thor over here and not quite able to shoot. I'm really surprised he's not able to... Okay, there we go. I was wondering, I thought that was less than 7 range. Another Overlord coming down with a couple roaches. May decide to put some pressure on the main. Again, not really going to work. Those Terran forces are just sitting there waiting for that attack to come. Obviously, oGs was able to get rid of the Thor ship there, forcing it back once again to its natural, where he sees there's nothing he can do whatsoever. Oh, but this Viking might get a couple kills, man. Looks like it's got 2 already. Going in for number 3. Will it get it? And, oh, man, so freaking close. There you go. All right, LiquidRet with the Overlord Vengeance. Even that, does that even make sense? I don't know. We'll just go with it. Now, he is continuing to push out the siege tanks here, and the Marauders as well. But looking over here, you see that oGs still is working a little bit on the Zerglings. He's going for the Zergling Roach. Got some mutas on the way, though. Look at that, 6 of them morphing as we speak. Really going to be looking to put some mid-tier pressure on here with the addition of that second hatchery, bringing the total to 4. This expansion is obviously sitting pretty right now, as this one, man, I'll tell you what, it is so close to death. Look at that. Even after the assault's over, it's still at 300 hit points. oGs looking to assert a little bit of map control here, taking over one of the Xel'Naga watchtowers, while his opponent looks to do the same. LiquidRet with a lot of damage per second right here in this army. Look at this. Very, very anti-roach. A little bit of anti-air. You know, the Thors can definitely handle what his opponent has right now. We'll just have to see how oGs actually uses these mutas. Of course, the magic box can really minimize the amount of damage the Thors can do. But, you know, really just one wrong micro and then bam! Huge explosion all over the muta's face. That's what she said, and that's going to be it. A couple Overlords coming over here, probably just to get a little bit of vision right there. You can see he's doing a pretty good job keeping an eye on the backside of his base, as both of these armies may actually engage each other. No, the Zerg opponent decides to run away and engage the southern forces down here and still try to run. We may even have a base trade here. I don't know. This has certainly been the week of base trading on my channel here. I have some pretty darn epic games from the Asian server. It looks like, sure enough, we're going to have a base race. Oh, man, he'll see who's going to win this right now. LiquidRet does have a lot of damage per second in this army, like I said before, but, you know, oGs certainly does have the roaches as well, and there's just not a lot over here that can hold off the onslaught of the Mutalisks and the roaches. Rhett has lifted off some of those buildings there, and is also continuing to damage down this expansion, which is gone, ladies and gentlemen. So now we are on 2.5 bases. You can see the third one is on the way right there. He's trying his hardest to save as many of his army units as possible, but obviously LiquidRet is up here just with a vengeance, man. Look how many buildings he's taken out here. The spawning pool is going to be going down in a second. There goes the extractor. Meanwhile, down here, oh, but look at this. There's a bunch of Zerglings coming over here, attacking the planetary fortress. Will they be able to get it down? No way in hell can they get that down right now. Nice placement of the missile turrets, not allowing the Zerglings to get a complete surround, while we see Rhett is up here bringing down the lair, and that is pretty much going to be it for that base, ladies and gentlemen. All the drones are now shifting their focus over to probably here, or maybe even here, even though this is a little bit harder to defend right now. But looking at LiquidRet's base, you can see he hasn't lifted off a lot of his buildings. There he goes, right there. Now, that's something he probably could have done a little bit early to mitigate some of that damage that he suffered at the beginning from the roaches there, forcing only the Mutalisks, you know, to be the only units able to do the damage to those flying units. Now, Rhett does have a nice position over here, nice and solidified. It remains to be seen whether or not he can survive the onslaught of the Yellow Zerg, as it looks to be going in for a defensive move now. Going to try to hold on to this expansion, which is pretty much all he has left. Does have another one at the 12 o'clock position, but that is not done morphing in yet. He has saved a queen. We have a fighting queen down here. All right. Sticking it to the team. Oh, but here comes the Zerglings getting a nice surround on the Thor. Is going to be pretty much absorbing all of the Thor damage there. Look at that. Even the drones coming off the line. Roach is getting a good surround. This is good night for this army. Rhett will not have this army for very long whatsoever. Even a couple medevacs here. Just nothing they can do right now. All the roaches are just so bloody powerful combined with the Zerglings. You know, The Thors versus the Zerglings in that fight, I think the Zerglings are really what did it there. The Thors could have done so much damage to those roaches, but their AI was just spinning all over the place, trying to get those Zerglings. There's just so many of them. As we now have an oGs counterattack coming down here at LiquidRet's expansion. Oh man, this factory is in a lot of trouble here. Obviously, he can lift off. Let's see if he's going to do that, though, before it starts to burn. No, it might actually go down. No, he just leaves it. oGs up here continuing to finish off the base as well. This is really going to hurt once those supply depots go down. Let's look at the army size real quick here. We can see 28-56. This is not looking good for Rhett, as both players are down to very few bases. Looking at the income right now, we can see that Rhett is actually up just a little bit because of the fact that he's bringing down these mules. He's got a good number of SCVs working on his expansion. And, you know, oGs did have to bring off all of his drones to get that solid surround on the Terran army up there at the 12 o'clock natural. oGs does know there's an expansion down here, so he may be looking to attack that soon. We'll have to see. I think he still has some mutas somewhere. Yeah, there they are right there. Don't know why that's kind of choppy with the frame rates. I'll have to see about fixing that. The StarCraft 2 patch did include some updates to the graphics engine. It's my understanding, something about tessellation. I really haven't experimented too much with it, but apparently that is in there. So if you're getting some serious lag, make sure you set your graphics stack down to Ultra instead of Extreme, as I think Extreme is actually auto-set for you. Just keep your eye out for that. LiquidRet deciding to bring over some SCVs here, trying to do as much damage as possible, you know, using the SCVs to absorb some hits from the roaches, get these Marines some extra damage time, as this command center, good night. Not going to have any more SCVs coming out of that at all. There is one last command center over here, with the exception of this one, but however, this one is the only one that is able to fly. And it looks like he's getting ready to be the target of the Mutalisk, which goes scarily close beside the missile turrets there. Almost lost that indeed. Now look at Rhett, man. He is supply blocked. Throwing down a command center right here. He may decide to use this for another expansion, or at this point, maybe even as, you know, a planetary fortress, which would be kind of an interesting move at this point. But still, you know, his opponent only has those 3 mutas. We can see the army size right here, 56-25. It would be very powerful at that point, and I guess that ping there was one from one of the many observers here. You can just scroll down the list and see we've got the little one, you know, Jinro, Huck, tons of players. I guess they're just talking about the lack of creep spreading there. I'm not too sure, but there are roaches coming in, engaging the mutas, which are the Marines, which are trying to run away. However, they are just running to their death, taking the shots in the back, dying in the middle of the map. Rhett continuing to build up this command center here, trying to establish his base. He wants to keep the fight away for as long as possible, man. He has just got to hold on for a few minutes, and he can start producing more units and stuff, which I realize is incredibly general. But at this point, we've pretty much had a complete, you know, tech reset here. We've just got a bunch of barracks with no add-ons, one factory which is burning right now. Definitely gonna have to repair that ASAP. SCVs are coming off the line here, going to try to absorb some of the damage from the roaches. Mutas go down 2, 1, and 0. The mutas are destroyed. A huge pain in Rhett's backside is now gone. Now we are just down to the roaches, which you can see are still putting pressure on the Terran base. Obviously wants to continue to holding that expansion for as long as possible here. Will he be able to do it with just these Marines? Maybe he can make a comeback. I don't know, but this siege tank is certainly in a lot of trouble here. Will the SCVs be able to repair it? Yes, it looks like they will be, because the Marines are coming back, putting more pressure on the roaches here, as Rhett is just trying as hard as possible to push out these Marines, man. Doesn't even have time to get tech labs or reactors or anything. Just wants to get those Marines out as fast as possible. Obviously, he's hurting for gas as well, and trying to build up these siege tanks, as Zerglings are going to come in here and reduce the SCV count even more, which you can see right now, 15-28. This is certainly looking good for oGs right now, as he is throwing down a third hatchery, or a fourth one rather. He really wants to finish this off, but just keep putting pressure onto the Terran opponent, who was really holding on here. Nice pickup with the medevac, saving the siege tank, currently at 50% hit points. Oh man, of course they do additional damage to armored units, which are exactly what the roaches are. You can see 25 damage against armored. So that'll help out a good bit. Rhett continuing to bring out the Marines here. You can see his resources sitting at about 800. Let's take a look at the Zerg player. You can see he's riding the bottom. Oh man, but there's a drop going in there for Rhett. Gonna maybe try to drop in the mineral line here. Be dangerous indeed, but we got banelings on the way, ladies and gentlemen. That'll certainly be a nice addition to this fight. Really wants to bust through these Marines and end it here. Rhett having summoned down his mules at this very low expansion. I'm sure he is not happy about having to use those mules with so little resources here, but he really is kind of out of options at this point. Of course, oGs will still be able to counterattack on this island. Does have the Ventral Sax upgrade, as we saw much earlier in the game, able to deal with that Thor on the cliff. But at this point, man, I'll tell you what, oGs is sitting in a pretty darn good position. The expansion's looking solid. You could see the drop right there went pretty well. Obviously didn't get too much in the way of kills, but still not too bad at all here. Just taking a quick look at the bases, you can see this expansion still dealing with the Marines. Will they actually be able to get down the spawning pool? Let's wait and see here. Looks like it's a little bit less than half, as we have maybe another attack coming in from oGs. No, looks like he's bringing them back to respond to attack up here. Oh, we got the drop right there coming in from the Zergling's going to try to go. Will the spawning pool go down? I think so. Yes, it does go down. oGs down his spawning pool, decides to rebuild it here. You can already see his 50% hit points. Probably saw that coming there long before it actually died, as the dropship has actually made its way over to the high yield expansion. Now, obviously, if it had a siege tank or two up here, it could be in a lot of trouble for this expansion, but he does not have one at this point. There is, however, another dropship here. Oh, look at that! With the Queen, man. 1 kill. Oh, 3 units. That is a shot I'm sure she is proud of. As we have an Overlord coming over here. The southeastern expansion dropping down some roaches here. LiquidRet does not have anything to respond to it whatsoever. He is going to continue to mine for as long as possible, as once again roaches are going to come down here, put some more pressure on the southeastern base. Still got these Zerglings up here, probably going to get rid of those at some point, as Rhett's really looking to put some pressure back up in the northern part of the map. He really wants to shift the focus back up north, man. He's got to do something. Going to make a play at this expansion. This Queen certainly is, oh my god, luckiest Queen in the world. Just kidding, she is not lucky at all. Oh, but this tank, however, man, not lucky either. Tell you what, I don't think it's an even trade. Queen for a tank. Roach is coming in here with the Banelinks. Will they be able to explode? No, there's the GG from LiquidRet. oGs has taken the game here on Lost Temple. As you can see, a whole slew of people have just left this game. So that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for this match. I hope you did enjoy it. More games are going to be coming on the way. Hopefully they will be fantastic games like the ones I've had so far this week. You know, there's been really exciting. I've just discovered the wonderful well of epic Asian games. I don't know, but we're going to hopefully continue it, and I will see you guys later.